Hi, here's a question from Luke about Bitcoin, the new digital currency that's become the latest craze. Is it a scam that will die out very quickly, or is it going to live up to the dreams people have of it replacing international banking and fiat currency? I don't know a lot about this, so I looked it up and found when it was created, or the date I've got anyway is January the 3rd, 2009, 6:15 p.m. and I found that it was Tokyo, even though some say the location's unknown. So I put a chart up for that. Well, I can see immediately that it's very experimental because it's got a huge amount of Aquarius energy and Uranian energy very strongly on the moon, but it's opposing and it's supported and underpinned very strongly by very earthy Saturn energy, which is Capricorn, but also we've got an aspect here with Saturn coming across to Uranus and the moon, which does tend to slow it down, definitely, but it is making it's remodeling something traditional, because when you get Uranus and Saturn together, it is tradition and history coming up against or combining with change and maybe disruption, but also innovation and progress. So you get something very traditional coupling with something very progressive, and then between the two of them producing a third factor, which is like the new design, the mutant that comes from that. So I think it will actually have mileage in it. But I think there will be a limitation on that, because it seems to be, from what I've read, completely reliant upon ADSL, the internet, and there's coronal mass ejections, there's earthquakes, there's all kinds of blips and glitches that can affect our broadband signals across the world. So anything which isn't physical in the hand, no matter how smart and clever and brilliant we get with our technology, if it's just all paper or if it's just all in cyberspace, then that's very limiting for it, you see. So, but I think this is just another one of the manifestations of the current Uranus-Pluto ongoing aspect. And also Pluto, which is really upsetting the apple cart with our traditional systems in society, including banking. And it will be hospitals and schools and the prison service and politics and just a whole plethora of other things. But that's just one of them, stocks and shares. I mean, already there's something going on with where through using the internet, the stock market is being manipulated, and it's not functioning in the way it used to. And this is simply because one can send messages lightning fast across the world about the state of the market. But I don't know enough about that, but I can say about this Bitcoin, just from looking at its chart, that I think it's a runner, but because it's of that limitations on it. However, because at its birth it's got such a huge amount of experimental energy with it, and groundbreaking energy with it, is that it's going to have to be tweaked and adjusted. And I think it will feed into the bigger main picture, which will turn into maybe a component or a wheel within many wheels of the new setup that's coming to us. I don't think it's it's a scam, and I don't think it's going to be discounted and everything go back to the way it was before. I absolutely do not think that, no. But it's going to become maybe a component. The idea behind this, you know, already in many towns in Britain, they've got their own currency, and they're more like tokens. It keeps everything just, you can use those tokens within that town or within that locality, like in the South Hams in Totnes. Yes, I mean, watch this space. There's going to be more. The only thing about it as well, the only other thing about it, is that they're in the chart for its birth, if this is correct, the location's correct, there's no fire. There's lots of earth, lots of air, and some water, but there's no fire. And fire is the thing that activates, that lights the touch paper, that triggers, that it's the catalyst. And it's very creative and entrepreneurial. So it's like it's kind of ticking away and finding its level. But I think it will be, as I say, maybe a component in a larger or a different model, and a component in a different model that's birth time has maybe got, you know, the fire element in it as well. So yeah, watch this space. So thank you very much for your question, Luke.